Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into something absolutely wild. We are witnessing an unprecedented acceleration in digital labor right now. I'm talking about a massive paradigm shift that is fundamentally rewriting the rules of human agency and honestly what a single person can accomplish on their own. Think about this for a second. Just 8 short months ago, the remote labor index sat at a mere 2.5%. Now, if you aren't familiar, this index basically measures how often AI agents can finish real, economically valuable freelance projects, stuff like graphic design, heavy coding, or complex data analysis, at a quality that a paying client would actually accept. So, 2.5% 8 months ago. But today, that number has violently spiked to 16.1%.
This is a massive statistical shock, and it forces us to ask a very direct question. How exactly did AI automation rapidly quadruple its capability in less than a single year? We aren't talking about some slow, gradual curve here. We're looking at a sudden, vertical leap in what machines can do.
Let's crack open the data and see exactly which models are driving this unprecedented leap at the AI frontier.
It's really all about Fable 5 right now, which is exerting absolute dominance. Hitting that 16.1% mark, it's effectively doubling the performance of Opus 4.8, which sits at 8.3%, and it's leaving GPT-5.5 trailing even further behind at 6.3%. Now, sure, all of these models shatter the previous ceiling, but Fable 5 is clearly the engine pulling this entire industry forward into a completely new reality.
So, how is Fable 5 actually pulling this off? To understand this massive leap, we need to strip away the magic and look at the actual mechanics under the hood of these agentic workflows. The secret sauce here is the architecture of autonomy. Unlike those rigid, script-based chatbots from the past that just sat there waiting for your prompt, these new systems use a dynamic loop. First, they autonomously plan, breaking a massive goal down into manageable steps. Then, they execute those steps. Maybe they use a tool, browse the web, or write some code. Finally, they verify their answer against the original goal. And if they spot an error, they just loop right back around and fix it. And get this, because of that continuous looping mechanism, this autonomy is so incredibly robust that models like Opus 4.6 can now sustain independent, continuous work horizons for an astonishing 14.5 hours straight. Really think about what that means. You could give an instruction at the end of your workday, log off, and your digital employee works continuously, problem-solving completely on its own, right up until you wake up the next morning.
In the business world, they're already aggressively adopting these multi-step autonomous systems to shift how actual work gets done. According to survey data from JS Deliver, 8 in 10 businesses are actively planning to implement more complex agents by 2026. They aren't treating AI like a fancy calculator anymore. They are literally hiring it as a digital employee.
Okay, so what's the bottom line for you and me? Well, this shift represents the ultimate advantage for the independent creator.
We are explicitly transitioning out of the engineering era. That was the time when your capacity to code or your ability to hire a massive team of developers was the main bottleneck. We're moving directly into the creator era. And in this era, the only limit is your imagination. The ability to build complex software, manage messy operations, or scale a business. It's just not gate-kept by technical syntax anymore.
If you want proof of this massive expansion of human agency, just consider this metric. Over 100,000 products are being built every single day on AI-native platforms. Solo founders and small, highly leveraged teams are deploying applications at a speed that would have required hundreds of human engineers just a couple of years ago. It's mind-blowing. Researcher John Radoff really hit the nail on the head here when he said, "The bottleneck isn't engineering capacity anymore, it's imagination." The gap between dreaming up a complex product and actually building it has completely collapsed. Natural language has effectively become our new programming language. You literally just compile your intent into reality.
Now, as with any major technological leap, we have to zoom out for a second. Let's look neutrally at the deep, dual-sided socioeconomic reality this invisible workforce creates for our global economy.
On one hand, economic modeling points to a very real structural risk called the AI layoff trap. Here's how it works. Competitive firms automate rapidly to capture immediate cost savings. But by doing that, displaced workers lose their income, which inadvertently destroys the consumer purchasing power those exact same firms rely on to survive. And the kicker? Firms are caught in a competitive automation arms race. Even if they know it erodes aggregate consumer demand, if they don't automate, their rivals definitely will,
leaving them at a massive cost disadvantage.
But then, on the flip side, Capgemini projects a staggering $450 billion economic opportunity by 2028. This massive value is largely driven by these elastically scalable autonomous agentic operations. Suddenly, companies can enter markets that used to be way too labor-intensive. They can offer hyper-personalized services at near zero marginal cost, which generates entirely new avenues of wealth.
So we're standing at a pretty profound crossroads. In the short term, we absolutely face real frictions. Rapid job displacement, major disruptions in traditional SaaS markets, and the localized pain of job destruction. But balancing that out is a massive long-term upside, an economy of minds with nearly infinite work capacity. This is a future where humans transition from mere task executors into agent managers, directing entire fleets of AI workers to solve huge, complex problems.
Ultimately, we really need to shift the narrative around digital labor away from just fearing replacement and move toward the empowering reality of leverage. You can now direct an entire society of digital workers. You're no longer just an employee or a solo creator. You literally have the capacity to operate as a full-blown enterprise.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to spark your curiosity. When your only limit is what you can dream up, what are you going to build next? Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer. The tools are here, the agents are waiting, the rest is completely up to you.